Hello guys. Hello guys there at home and welcome again to my Facebook and YouTube broadcasting channel. I am Mr. JF Chavangwana, your teacher. So today we are back with some exciting maths, which is now we have special type of maths, which is now mathematical literacy. So we'll be focusing on looking at the tariffs because it's part of the question papers for grade 11 and grade 12. So if you're a grade 11 learner, don't stay and say, no, this is for grade 12. Grade 11 is for you, grade 12 is for you. So grade 12 is especially to you. Please make sure you use this time to study because after the corona thing, there will be you and your school. So we make sure now through this initiative to make sure that we bring you those classes to you wherever you are. So make sure you watch the videos, you comment, you ask questions where it's necessary. So we have to play our part, all of us. Make sure you are part of the initiative. Make sure if you are not a mathematical literacy learner, make sure you share the videos with the learners of mathematical literacy so that we minimize the impact of coronavirus on our education. So like I've said, today we are back with exciting maths lit. We are looking at tariffs. So tariff in general, they are part of our everyday lives. For example, if you are going to a mall and you are having your nice car, you go to that mall and then you want to park your car in that mall, you will have a price list to say if you are parking for 1 hour, you are paying 15 rand. More than in 1 hour, you are paying 25 rand. Those are tariffs, right? So now, mathematically or mathematical literacy speaking, when we talk of a tariff, right? Because they can ask you to define what is a tariff, right? When we are talking of a tariff is a schedule or schedule of predetermined cost for services. So now, if we are talking about the tariff, we are talking about that schedule of predetermined costs for services. For example, for like I just gave you the example where you go and park your car in a mall, then that list of prices to say if you use this, you pay that predetermined. The prices are determined even before you go to the mall, so they are predetermined, and it will depend on how much you use. And it will depend there on how much you use or how many hours you park, how much you pay. So now for a tariff, let's say now we look at a tariff as well. Even your cell phone there you are using, your data bundles, you'll have cost to say maybe 1 megabyte per second, 1 rand per megabyte. That is a tariff, right? So a tariff, maybe you are calling now, they will tell you that to call you want to pay maybe 2 rand per minute. This is a tariff, 2 rand per minute. That means if you are speaking for 2 minutes, you will pay 2 times 2. That will be equal to 4 rand. Now for a tariff, it must have unit of payment. A tariff has unit of payment and as well unit of measurements. So by unit of payment, that means this cost now it is in rand. So we charge you in rands. Then you unit of measurement, we measure your length of your call in minutes. So you can have 2 rand per second. So your unit of payment will be rands and unit of measurement will be second. That is a tariff. So if this was a cell phone tariff, right, to say you are speaking, if you are speaking, you are paying 2 rand per minute and you speak for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. In this case, if you speak for 5 minutes, what will be the cost? Let's see if you calculate the cost. The cost for speaking for 5 minutes, you'll have 5 minutes times the tariff, 2 rand per minute. Then these minutes they will cancel, and then you have, for speaking for 5 minutes, you will pay 10 rands. That is it. So you see, a tariff determines how much you pay based on how much you use for the services. So the tariff is not determined when we are there to say, now because you are speaking for 10 minutes, then we decide to charge you 3 rand. For speaking for 20 minutes, we decide to charge you 1 rand per minute. So that's not how a tariff works. So a tariff is predetermined, is there. Then you use it knowing how you will pay. So now, for this video, we are looking at water tariff. Now it's our focus, water tariff. So we will be looking at water tariffs, and as well, if we have time later on, we'll be doing other types of tariff like cell phone tariffs, like I just gave you an example here. So now water tariff, as you can guess, water tariff in our local municipalities, you have different tariffs depending on the city. If you are staying, maybe you are staying in urban areas, you have those meter readings there in your tap where it will count how much water you have used, right? And then depending on the tariffs of the municipality, it will calculate your monthly cost, right? So now I have an example here, or a question that I want us to go through very quickly because we don't have time. We have limited amount of time. Now Corona is chowing our time, but now let's look at the question to see if we can follow on the question. Now here we have a question which has been extracted from one of the previous question paper, which is a water tariff, is an example of a water tariff. Now this tariff is based on the city of Teguin in Durban, which is charging a certain fee. So let's read the question carefully before we answer the questions. Now let's open some space so that we'll be able to calculate there. Now they are saying the city of Durban's Teguin municipality charges the following tariffs for domestic water usage in 2013. So that means this tariff is for the year 2013 for properties valued for more than 250,000, right? So now here is a water tariff. Now in a tariff you will have the amount of water that is used in water tariff, the amount of water that you use, and as well the tariff, right? To say for how much water, for this amount of water you use, you will pay that one. So if you see here, read carefully. You see here what is written here. Is written price per kiloliter excluding VAT, right? So that means this is the cost of water per kiloliter. When we are talking about kiloliter, they are units of measurement of water volume. So now, if we are talking about 1 kiloliter, 1 kiloliter of water is equal to how many liters of water? 1,000 liters, right? 1,000 liters. That's basic knowledge you have to know. Now they are saying your prices, they exclude VAT, so that means our prices in our table, they exclude a VAT. So that's how you analyze your tariff table. So now here you have this here, which is the range, to say if you are using between 0 to 9 kiloliters of water, you will be charged for 9.50 Rand per kiloliter. So let's say now, before we go to the questions, now let's say we create our question to say calculate the cost if you use maybe 5 kiloliter. Let's say you use 5 kiloliter of water. We want to calculate the cost for using 5 kiloliter of water. Now in this case, what do you do? Remember, cost is equal to tariff you used, whatever you use, amount used times your tariff for that specific thing, right? Cost, so the equal sign here is supposed to be not there. Then you have cost equals to, I like to use these words with my learners, not that they're formal. I like to say used times tariff. Single I times tariff. So by used, I mean the whatever you have used. If you were calculating cell phone tariff, the number of minutes you spoke times the tariff for that thing. So now in this case, we use how many kiloliters of water? 5, right? So 5 kiloliter times the tariff for between 0 to 9 kiloliters of water. 0 to 9 kiloliters of water, that tariff is what? 9 rand 50 per kiloliter. So you see our tariff has unit of payment. Our unit of payment here is rand. Unit of measurement is kiloliters. So these kiloliters and that one, they simplify. Then you remain with your cost. Then you use your calculator and then you find that one. And then if we use our calculator, let's see. Make sure, please, I always emphasize, your calculator must be your best friend. Make sure you always have a calculator. If you don't have one, make sure you ask, you try means to get one. Because if you don't use your calculator throughout the year and think you will use it in an exam, you will be those kind of kids who feel like the time of an exam paper is not enough. So we calculate there, and you get 47 rand 50. So this is 47 rand 50. So that means if you use 5 kiloliters of water, you will pay 47 rand 50. So now let's see in example 2. If we use 10 kiloliters of water now, remember we want to calculate the cost of 10 kiloliters of water. You say used times tariff. Used times tariff. What is the used here is 10 kiloliter of water. Then you go to your tariff table, right? Now in our tariff table, we have to split this thing because now you have 10 kiloliters, right? We have to split according to the ranges of those tariffs. Different kiloliters of water will be charged at different rates. So now, going to our table. So what I want, I always advise my learners to do is to calculate the values, the maximum values of water that can be charged according to each tariff there, right? Let's write the maximum. How do we calculate the maximum values? So the maximum here, you say 9 minus 0, the maximum that can, this is not part of your exam, please. This is not part of the question, right? So you have a 9, then you say 25 minus 9, that is a 16. Then you say 30 minus 25, that is a 5. And in this case, 45 minus here, then you get a 15. So these are just values to guide you, right? So in this case now, you have 10 kiloliters of water. Go ask in the first range, maximum, right? So according to this tariff table, the maximum that can be charged according to the first range between 0 to 9 kiloliters of water, it's only the first 9 kiloliter of your water that will be charged 9 rand 50 per kiloliter. The moment you exceed 9 kiloliters of water, then your tariff changes for the next amount of water you will be using. So in this case, the first 9 will be charged according to the first tariff. So you'll have 9 times 9 what? Let's see. So the 9 kiloliter, the first 9 kiloliter will be charged according to the first tariff, which is 9 rand 50 per kiloliter, plus then you say, what was the question? 10. So 10, you subtract the one that you've already covered. 10 minus 9, you remain with 1. So the remaining 1 kiloliter will be charged according to the next tariff. So what is the next tariff? 11 rand 22 per kiloliter. That is it. Then you press your calculator. So you see now that's how it works. So now we don't have enough time. We don't have time. In fact, we don't have time. We are behind, as they always tell you that math teachers, they will say, we don't have time, guys. Indeed, we don't have time. You can see for yourself that we don't have time. So we do the calculator. Calculator 9 times 9 rand 50 plus what? 1 times, what is the second? 11 rand 22. So that's what you get. You get 96.72 rand. So what is the answer? The answer is 96.72. 96.72. That is the answer when you calculate the cost of using 10 kiloliters of water. 10 kiloliters of water, don't think it's 10 liters, it's 10,000 liters of water. So you have used so much water, so you pay 96 rand. Well, it's a fair one, okay? So you must make sure you always save water, don't waste water, because in the coming centuries we will be having a water scarcity. So now let's look at our question. Our question is saying now, calculate the cost of water consumption of 49 kiloliters. So now we have 49 kiloliters. So now we want to divide. The first thing I want us to do, I want us to see, okay, get yourself to know this. Ask yourself, okay, now they are talking about 49 kiloliters of water. Which tariff will this thing fall under? Go ask yourself. Now, these values are the maximum values that can enter in each range. So in the first range, you can only account for 9 kiloliters of water. If you are more than 9, if it's 10, then the next one will be counted there. So let's see. Now, please make sure whatever I'm doing there on the table is not necessary to be written down, partly is for your guidance. So now you take your value 49 and ask yourself, am I gonna put the 49 kiloliters according to this thing here? No, you cannot put all the 49 kiloliters of water, but instead of the whole 49, the first section that will account only for 9 kiloliters of your 49. So now out of 49, only 9 kiloliters of water will fall under the first tariff, because the maximum in the first range is 9. So now what is remaining? 49 minus that you already put there in blue, then you have a 40. So you ask yourself a question, will I put all the 40 kiloliters of water now that is remaining, because 9 already is accounted for there. Now let's see. You ask yourself, will you put all the 40 that is remaining? If you put a 40, it falls outside our maximum. Our maximum water that you can put in this range is 16. Then you are saying 40 minus 16. What are you remaining with? Then you use your calculator, please. I'm using a calculator so that you get used to use a calculator. So you say 40 minus 16. What is it? You have 33. Now, sorry, it's 40, not 49, because already 49 we have the 9 we've accounted. So now 40 minus 16, you have 24. The question you ask yourself now, am I gonna put the 24 here, all of it? No. What is the maximum that is falling here? Is 5. Out of your 24, 5 is accounted here because it's the maximum. So now how much is remaining? How much volume of water is remaining? 24 minus 5. So you have 24 minus 5. Use your calculator. Please don't think you know the numbers. Please use a calculator in an exam. That's why I'm using it here, so that I don't act smart. So that please, you too don't act smart in an exam. Now you say 24 minus that one you've put there. 24 minus 5, you get 19, right? And you ask yourself, will you put the whole 19 here? And then your answer is no, because the maximum of water that can enter here is 15. So out of 19, you put 15 here, right? So now 19 minus 15, how much water you are remaining with? So you are saying 19 minus 15, so you remain with the 4. Then ask yourself in the next range, what is the maximum here that can enter? Anything that's more than 45. So the remainder here is unlimited. That means whatever you are remaining with here in this last range is more than 45. You don't have a from to, so you only have more than 45. So more than 45, So what do we have? You have a 4. Then make sure you confirm before you calculate. This is not part of calculation. You have not answered the question, but I'm just guiding you on how to divide your tariffs. Now confirm by doing a calculation to see if all those things they add up to your 49. So you say 9 plus 16, they must give you 49 if you are correct. 16 plus 5 plus 15 plus 4. If you are correct, they must give you 49. So indeed they are equal to 49. Now the question is saying calculate the cost of water. Calculate his monthly water bill including VAT. So now how do we calculate the cost? I just showed you how to calculate the cost. A bill is a cost. So cost is equal to used times tariff. Remember, used times a tariff. So cost is equal to, in the first range, what is used in the first range? In the first range, you use how many kiloliters? 9 kiloliters times what is the tariff of the first one? Is 9 rand 50 per kiloliter plus the second one. What is used there? 16 kiloliter times the tariff. The second tariff is what? 11 rand 22 per kiloliter plus the next one 5, that is used 5 what? Kiloliter times the tariff there is 14.95 plus the next one 15 kiloliter times the tariff. The tariff is what? Is 23 rand 0.05 per kiloliter plus lastly you used 4 kiloliter that will be charged according to the last tariff. Then 4 kiloliter times the tariff there. The tariff is 25 rand per kiloliter. 25 rand, 36 per kiloliter. 36. So please make sure you get used to writing. Now I don't like, you can do this and put the units now here. It doesn't matter whether you write and put the units throughout or you only write numbers and put the units at the end, so it will be the same thing. But as long as your final answer must have unit. If it's cost and the cost you see, your tariff is given in rands, the cost must be in rands. If it's given in seconds, the unit of payment, then if your unit of payment is given in cents, then your cost must be in cents unless stated otherwise. So let's continue and see what we have. We use our calculator. Where's our calculator? Our friend, please come and assist us. The calculator, seems like we are running out of time. The time is not enough. Now you have 9 times 9.5, which is 9 rand 50, plus, you see I'm pressing everything, 16 times 11.22, sorry, 0.22 plus what is it, 5 times 14.95, 14.95 plus what else, 15 times 23.05 plus 4 times 25.36, 25.36, and then you have that is equal to 786.96. So your cost is what is the cost there? Our cost is 786.96. So you have the cost is 786.96. Let's verify if it's correct. Yes. Now this is the cost. Now the question, make sure you read it carefully. You see now the question is saying include VAT. So this price exclude is the exclude VAT. It excludes VAT because your tariff table said excluding VAT. The price is there in your tariff table, they exclude VAT. So this means that this is the cost excluding your VAT. So now you say including VAT. Now what is our VAT? Our VAT currently, the VAT rate is at 15%. So that means you take your price 786.96 times 1.15, right? So you include VAT. So there are many methods of calculating your VAT inclusive price. So it don't say where is this 1.15 coming from. It's 115 over 100. That means the original price excluding VAT is 100% plus 15%, so you get 115 over your original price. Then that is where you get that 1.15. Then you include a VAT. Or else you can calculate 15% of this amount, and you say 15% of that amount by saying 15% times that, you get your 15%, then at the end you add. So, but I like to do simple things. I don't like to have unnecessary work. So now I like to do simple things because I'm lazy to work the longest way. So now you do your maths, and then you have that answer 786.96, 786.96 multiplied by 1.15. Then what is your VAT inclusive price? Then your VAT inclusive price becomes 905 rand, 905 point what point, where's the calculator? 0.04. That's all for question 1. So now we have run out of time. So the next questions we'll be doing them in the next video, part 2 of this video. Make sure you watch the videos. Make sure if you are not, if the videos are not directed to you, make sure you share with those ones who are in need of them, because together we can be able to mitigate or minimize the effect of coronavirus. Now, please stay safe. Take care. Your teacher loves you. Sharp.